Documents released by the Department of Justice confirm that Epstein was collaborating with an individual connected to Hollywood. New evidence points to Ellen as that person. Her name appears over 1,100 times across the Epstein files. Additionally, a voicemail recorded by one of Epstein's victims has recently come to light.
Hi, I'm a victim for you about Jeffrey. Her name is, she's been within about a year, less than a year. So you can call her on, get an appointment to meet up with her. Yeah, she doesn't want you at the house, but she said that you can call her.
These voicemails were retrieved from Jeffrey Epstein's office line and referenced a victim who was allegedly attempting to expose his connection to Ellen after cross-referencing the timing of the call with emails Epstein was sending. Independent investigative journalists concluded that this individual was Hetchy, Ellen's former girlfriend. Hetchy passed away just months after Ellen ended her show in 2022 and announced her departure from Hollywood.
Ambulance. That's some sort of sign, but yes. So basically the activity that we were looking for, that anxious or that quick moving, that was going on the other side of the vehicle. Oh my gosh, he's completely alive.
What the hell?
This isn't even the most serious accusation against Ellen. Emails from the Epstein files along with comments Ellen made herself have led to claims that she was connected to disturbing activities. There's also an ongoing conspiracy theory alleging that Ellen was involved in consuming human flesh, and that's what Hetchy was reportedly trying to reveal.
Now, that the Epstein files reveal Ellen DeGeneres as, and I'm quoting this directly from the posts, Hollywood's most prolific, that she consumed human flesh. Ellen DeGeneres is named in the Epstein documents, and that part is real. Her name appears in the broader index of over 300 high-profile individuals that show up across the investigative materials. Flight logs, communications, third-party interviews, peripheral records.
And so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer? Yes? Harrison? Yes? Yes? All right. Too large? What do you think? I'm going to order some pizza.
There has been speculation for years that people in Hollywood were connected to the consumption of human flesh. Supporters of this theory claim that emails linked to Epstein and his associates contain proof. Reviews of thousands of emails released by the Department of Justice suggest that coded language was allegedly used in conversations with powerful individuals. Claimed code words included food items like beef jerky, pizza, ice cream, grape sushi, and white tuna. Critics of the theory argue that the way these words were used appears unclear and
The number one point is they're not talking about real jerky here. We know that. It's code for something.
Right.
And when you go through some of the other emails that talk about how to refrigerate it, where to store it, how many pounds it is, and things like that, your brain goes to some of that Peter Nygaard type world type things.
Absolutely. Now I've seen these, and I have access to the the index emails as well. It's and I try to go through them when time allows. But yeah, I would guess, if I were a betting man, that they're not talking about actual beef jerky. Not known to be an island treat. I mean, people eat a lot of fish down on the islands, and I'm sure other stuff too. But I mean, to me, this is code for something more nefarious.
There are code words that suggest Jeffrey Epstein and his associates could maybe even be engaging in some sort of consumption. Is that human consumption? Are there code words? There's a lot of talk of beef jerky. There's a restaurant called The Campbell where the owner is listed in some of these documents. Now, that isn't a restaurant that is just proclaiming to serve human meat by any means, but some of this just, it seems that there's a lot of conspiracies that make you wonder. And I saw more emails about torture, and these coded conversations still have a very clear topic. That torture was big. It was a big driver for them, and these were sick people doing very, very sick things.
The main argument made by supporters of the theory is that these emails were not referring to actual food items but to coded language. They point to other messages discussing storage and refrigeration as part of their claim. Some allegations also suggest that certain elites were involved in harvesting stem cells. Reports mentioned by figures such as Chris Hansen have been cited by people discussing the Epstein Epstein files. Epstein also reportedly funded research related to genetics and stem cells.
The recently released emails from the Epstein files show Jeffrey Epstein was interested in genetic medicine. He paid a researcher at Massachusetts General Hospital for tests that could be used to help create stem cells. Investigators found a $2,000 invoice from 2014 for sequencing part of Epstein's genome. The doctor that he paid also provided an estimate for personalized longevity studies that would use gene editing. He told investigators Epstein was enrolled in the Personal Genome Project at Harvard University.
He was a billionaire freakazoid.
Yes.
And part of his deal, he's in prison in jail up in Canada, waiting, charges all over the globe. But his deal was that he would allegedly impregnate young women in the Bahamas, where he had a huge home, and then have them get aborted and harvest their stem cells of the fetuses to inject in himself as the fountain of youth. And we get into this in that documentary. And was Epstein involved in that sort of activity? I don't know.
That's where, and again, we just have to look at what we have and know what we don't yet.
Yeah.
But it's a question.
Yeah,
when you look at the
it's
context
a legitimate
of the jerky
question.
stuff.
Yeah, and when you look at what other billionaire guys have done.
Alex Jones claimed to explain how these alleged events supposedly...
The child's half you, you're not going to get organ rejection. That's what Epstein was actually, one of his main businesses along with Peter Nygaard. Oh yeah, it's much worse than just, 14-year-old, 15-year-old girls. They want you to just stay in that area and never get down the rabbit hole. That's the entrance to the rabbit hole, is 14, 15-year-old girls. No, down in the rabbit hole. Down in the rabbit hole is women getting pregnant with the man's own body so it doesn't get genetically rejected. Central African women, because they have dominant genes and the stem cells are about 100 times better. Just a fact. For health effects. And then the woman has an abortion at 8 months. They suck the baby dry of its bone marrow, its blood, and in multiple transfusions, put it into the rich old men and rich old women. And that's what Peter Nygaard, that's public, by the way, and not public, Epstein did, though it's leaked. He was into cloning and hundreds of babies of his own and underground medical facilities at Zorro Ranch. All these medical chairs, all this. Oh yeah, that's what they do.
Returning to Hollywood, some conspiracy theories claim that Ellen DeGeneres used her platform to discuss stem cell treatments connected to staying young. These allegations also accused Ellen of being linked to controversial activities that conspiracy communities claim Hollywood is hiding. In one episode featuring Sandra Bullock, people online alleged that comments made during their conversation referenced adrenochrome and anti-aging, though these claims...
Okay, let's talk about this facial that you're obsessed with. How many, did you get the whole cast of Ocean's 8 to do this?
Not everybody.
Okay, good, smart ones.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay, explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these, I think many of you know it, and it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the serum.
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra?
Sarah?
Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean.
Ellen DeGeneres has often been mentioned in online conspiracy theories connected to Jeffrey Epstein after images of Epstein's island were released by the Department of Justice. Some people online claimed that a temple on the island looked similar to a set design seen on Ellen's show. Supporters of these theories argued that Hollywood...
Did you know that Ellen DeGeneres' stage set is exactly the same as on Epstein Island, with all the couches, the same colour, the same soft furnishings, palm trees, window, everything to the T. And I'm like,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Hey, aren't we getting some up now?
Getting some up now on our screen?
Yeah, there's palm trees. You're right.
But look at the backdrop behind her striped building.
No, Emma, there's
palm
nothing
trees.
to see here.
So don't berate her.
I'm not berating, I'm just saying.
I'm going to look further.
There has also been discussion online about crown and skeleton imagery connected to the artwork of Jean-Michel Basquiat, which some people noticed being worn by Jay's and Ellen DeGeneres. Certain conspiracy theorists claim these symbols reference alleged occult connections among elites. Some online posts have also alleged that similar imagery appeared in files reportedly connected to Jeffrey Epstein and linked to accusations involving politicians.
Symbolism will be their downfall. Or is it just art? And let me be the first to tell you, it's all connected. I mean, if you know, you know. But first, let's go back to that video of Ellen DeGeneres. When the camera turns, you can see the inside of her house. Now, see that picture right there? Well, if you pause it and look it up, it says evil thoughts with revenge right next to it. Here's another picture of Ellen in her house, and this is the picture behind her. Now, the thing I'm curious about is the letters on top of the picture. These look oddly similar to the letters Marina Abramovich writes out when she does spirit cooking. Remember the beginning of the video? It's all connected. And that person that was in all red is Lady Gaga, and she went to Marina Abramovich many times for teaching. But let's continue. This is another picture of Ellen in her home. She's cutting her mother's hair, but what is that picture above her head?
It is publicly known that Jeffrey Epstein had connections with influential figures including celebrities during court proceedings related to Ghislaine Maxwell. Documents and testimonies led to increased speculation online about Epstein's relationships within Hollywood. Around the same period that Ellen DeGeneres announced the end of the Ellen DeGeneres Show, some critics and conspiracy theorists claimed she may have been connected to efforts to improve Epstein's public image and introduce him to young talent in the industry. Others pointed to her stepping away from the spotlight during the Maxwell case as suspicious, although no evidence has.
So according to a newly filed court document, Ghislaine Maxwell, the former associate of Jeffrey Epstein, she was convicted of trafficking, sentenced to 20 years in prison. She claims that 25 men, maybe friends, associates of the deceased financier, have been protected under secret settlements, secret deals, and that this information was not revealed to her during her trial. This is on top of what she claims are 4 other individuals, alleged co-conspirators, who were never charged. Obviously, I have thoughts. Is she telling the truth, particularly given her past, in light of what she's trying to do now? If this is true, number one, wow. And who are these people? What is a secret settlement? Can we ever find out? Can the public ever find out? So I'm made of questions. I'm bringing on an expert right now to tackle all of this.
Some conspiracy theories also focused on the deaths of 2 people connected to Ellen DeGeneres after the Ellen DeGeneres Show ended in 2022. Supporters of these claims pointed to the deaths of Stephen Twitch Boss, who worked as a co-executive producer on the show, and Hetchy, Ellen's former partner. Online discussions described the circumstances as suspicious, although authorities publicly reported their cause.
In May 2002, the Ellen DeGeneres Show was canceled, and then 2 months later, Anne Heche, Ellen's ex-girlfriend, was in a really bad car accident where she flew her Mini Cooper into someone's house and it caught fire. And what has never sat right with me is the cross comparison between the coroner's report and the actual aerial footage. The coroner's report says that she was unconscious until her death, after just from smoke inhalation and from being brain dead from the fumes in her brain. But if you look at the footage, she sits straight up, and that takes a conscious effort, I feel, but I'm not a scientist. I mean, I'm not a doctor. But the other thing is her other host, her co-host Twitch, died 4 months after that. And I just think that that's a suspicious amount of close people around you dying in weird ways. But I don't know. Anyways, this is my driver. And I went to the Ellen show once, and she gave me Magic Mike Live tickets. Anyways,